documents for this, but I generally don't pass off much work because I like to be hands-on and do it myself. Unless, if it's drafting a letter that, says enclosed, please find this.
Or putting together the trial notebook, and I'm
Right.
talking stuff that maybe people don't understand, but I know what
A
you
book
mean.
of documents and stuff that
yeah.
you want to get into
that's
evidence. Right.
They're definitely not charged for anything that's not brain and necessary for it.
Right, absolutely.
So, Michael, tell us what's important about what you do for businesses as an attorney.
Well, I guess I would look at us as kind of an insurance policy for success.
Okay.
I mean, if you're never going to have anything and you're never going to be successful, you probably don't need an attorney.
Okay.
Because there's nothing that anyone can take from you, right? If you're starting to be successful, you're making money, you're looking at, wow, I have personal assets and I have corporate assets and I want to keep them separate and I want to make sure that they're segregated. So if I lose my business, well, I've just lost my business and I don't lose something else, my bank accounts and things like that. My
Or if
personal.
I get divorced.
Sure.
Yeah.
So absolutely.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I'm curious about what you think is, as a person, as a company grows, what is important about incorporating. I know that you mentioned that the other day when I heard you speak at a group that I was in. So tell us a little bit about the importance of incorporating.
Yeah, the primary importance of incorporating is keeping your personal assets separate from your corporation. The unfortunate part is people always think about when they're setting up a corporation, everything's always going to be rosy with my partner and, nothing ever bad's going to happen.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to walk you down, if we're going to set up a corporation, I'm going to walk down how the corporation dissolves in case you guys, for some reason your partner and you don't get along anymore. How does it get dissolved? How do you value the company if you're going to dissolve it? How many shares are issued? Are you keeping track of your corporate records? We're going to help you out with that because in my experience, a court and a judge will give your corporation as much respect as you give it. So if you follow the rules and do what you're supposed to do to maintain your corporation or your LLC or LP or whatever it is, they're going to give it more respect. The less respect you give, the less protection you're going to have. So yes, I prepare you
That
for
makes
success,
sense.
but I also prepare you in case bad things happen because they do. And it's more expensive to fix it on the back end than it is to get prepared up front.
So tell us what's some of the big mistakes that businesses make, and the other one is what size businesses do you prefer to work with?
Well, we have, the size businesses we work from range from small solo owners who own 100% of their company, and they're just startups, to Fortune 200 companies. We have a wide range. The largest thing that people make the mistake in, I think, is trying to do it themselves.
Okay.
You can do it yourself. I stay away from doing handyman projects because I'm not good at them. And so if I tried to hang a set of cabinets, they probably wouldn't be level. They probably wouldn't look right. My wife would be angry with me. Same way, yes, you're going to pay a little money to get a corporation set up. To get it set up right, $1,000, $1,200. But at the end of the day, you know that you've set it up right, that if something bad happens and you want to break it up, it has a methodology to break it up that everybody's agreed to and everybody's signed off on, so you don't have to go to court and pay me $225 an hour to have the judge and the jury determine what the value of the corporation is and how they're going to break it up, instead of you guys already getting together and figuring out beforehand.
Yeah. So. That's a great point too, because I remember when I finally incorporated, I used someone that that happened to be a friend of somebody's, and he failed to put in the whatever you do, because I didn't do it. Whatever you do, the papers or whatever they file. How I was going to pay my taxes. So then all of a sudden there was this scrambling with the CPA, and then I had to pay a CPA more money because somebody didn't dot their I's and cross their T's. So
You're probably talking about an S-form election, or
Yes.
S-corp election. Right.
yeah, which would be something that you probably would.
That's easy.
Yeah.
I mean, you can go to the
Absolutely.
IRS website, download it, check a couple boxes, send it in. You have to do it within the first 75 days of forming your corporation, or you're going to be scrambling like that. It's something you should be told as soon as the letter goes out, as soon as I've formed it, you're going to get a letter and saying, hey, here's the document and here's what you got to
It's
do.
also, when a lot of people have heirs, so, they need to have a way to value it. And what if they die or something,
Mm-hmm.
and is the widow you're gonna be sitting there with Joan Crawford going, don't, mess with me, boys.
Do you want your spouse's
Yeah.
wife or husband as your new partner?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe, maybe not.
So, Michael, tell us, we've got a couple of minutes left. Anything that you would like to tell our audience that you think they should know about a business attorney, or what you do and what you offer, and then tell us how we can get a hold of you.
Oh, absolutely. Business attorneys should prepare you for success and also prepare you in case something bad happens. What I'm going to tell the audience, I guess, is it's going to cost a lot less if you come to a business attorney's office before you form your corporation, before something bad happens, to do your contract before there's a breach, to look over the things and make sure it's right and make sure it reads correctly and make sure you're not giving up rights that you have, venue selection, jurisdiction selections, things like that. It's going to cost you money to get all that done, but I will guarantee, if you come to a business attorney's office before you ink the contract, before you form your corporation, before you take any
Could
steps
be
in
an
a corporation.
employment agreement.
Sure, an employment agreement. Absolutely. If you go to an attorney before, it's going to cost you a lot less than trying to do it afterwards, because then I have to unravel all that's been done
Yeah.
slowly and carefully and at my hourly rate.